beginning band students. My name is Mrs. Preslin, and I'm here today to show you a thing or two about playing the saxophone. If you missed the super lesson or you just need a refresher, then you've come to the right place. Now this saxophone I'm going to show you is called an alto saxophone. It's the smaller of the saxophones. Most of you will start on an alto. If you're using a school instrument, you'll get a tenor saxophone, which is a little bit bigger than this, but all of the parts and the keys are the same. They're just a little bit longer and it sounds lower. So I'm going to first show you how to put this together and assemble it. So the first thing you're going to do is find the neck strap. Now in this case, the neck strap is in a separate pouch. Yours might be in the same pouch as the saxophone. If it doesn't have this top case, then it'll be with the saxophone. So we're going to put it around our neck, like so. The second part you're going to find is called the reed. And reeds are very important because the reed is what makes the sound. So let's get a close-up picture of the reed. And the first thing you're going to do with the reed is you're going to put it in your mouth to get it wet, just like a popsicle stick. And you would actually keep it in your mouth the entire time that you put the instrument together. I'm not going to do that right now because I want you to understand what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to set this on the stand here. Then we're going to open the main pouch. Now some of your cases will have a zipper and some of them will have latches. So either way, either unzip it or unlatch it. Oh, and one other thing, you should always keep the case on the floor, not on your lap. And if you have a school instrument, the words elementary band will be facing up. If you are renting an instrument from a music store, then the brand name or the logo will be on top facing up. If you open it upside down, then the pieces will go all over the place. So always keep it on the floor. I'm just putting it on my lap today so that you can see the inside of the case and so that I can show you where everything goes. So first thing you're going to do is take out the biggest piece, and this is called the body of the instrument. And before you do anything else, there's a little loop here on the back, and you're going to hook this to your neck strap. That way, even if you don't touch it with your hands, you won't drop the instrument. Next thing we're going to do is find the neck. Now before you put the neck on, you're going to have, some of you are going to have a cap right here. That's just a protective cap. So you just take that out. And then when you put the neck on, make sure that you push it from here, not from here, because if you push down on here, you might break it or bend it. And then once you've got the neck on, you're going to tighten this screw here this way so that it can still move side to side, but so it doesn't fall out. And then the most important part, the mouthpiece. Now this mouthpiece is fancy. It has a cap that protects it so you don't ruin the mouthpiece. So just put the cap back in the case, and we're going to put the other cap back in the case. Now with the mouthpiece, this little black thing over the mouthpiece is called the ligature. And this is what holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. So we're going to set that down right now, for now. And then this is the mouthpiece, and this is going to go on the neck. So just twist and push. Now this brown part right here is called the cork, and sometimes that gets really dry, so it gets hard to put the mouthpiece on. So if that's the case, you might want to get some cork grease, which comes in a little tube, and you just rub it on, kind of like chapstick for your instrument. So now that we've got our mouthpiece on, you take the reed out of your mouth. Remember, it's still soaking. And the ligature is going to be what holds the reed onto the mouthpiece. Now there's a lot of different kinds of ligatures. The cloth ligatures, the screw is going to be on top of the mouthpiece. If you have a metal silver ligature, then the screw is going to be facing you. But this way, obviously, it won't fit. So we're going to put this one on like this. And then on the back of your reed, there's going to be a word or two, and that's the brand name. That's going to go against the flat part of the mouthpiece. Loosen that ligature a little bit. And then you tighten that screw Not all the way tight, just tight enough to hold it on. Now let's get a close-up picture of what the mouthpiece should look like when it's all put together. Now let's look at one more picture of the instrument with all the parts labeled in case you forgot, because it's a lot to remember, and this should help you remember. Now let's talk about hand position. So the left hand is going to go on top, and there's this black circle on the back. That's not a button, it's just a place to rest your thumb. This is an octave key, which we're not going to use today. So for now, just put your thumb on this black spot. And then you're going to wrap your left hand around. Make sure you wrap it around. These are called palm keys, that you don't bump the palm keys, because if you do, the notes won't sound right. And then you're going to find this top white key, and that's your first finger. And then the next one, skip the little guy here, and that's the next one, and then that's the next one. So those are going to be for your first 3 notes, which we'll talk about in just a minute. The right hand, you have what's called a thumb rest, and you're going to put your right hand under the thumb rest, like so, and then wrap those fingers around, 1, 2, 3, on those white keys. We're not going to use those keys today, but for now, just let your right thumb hang out under that thumb rest. So when you actually go to play, you're going to put the instrument off to your right. Now make sure with your mouthpiece that you always turn it to you, don't turn your head to the mouthpiece. So you can adjust it however you need, just make sure you're looking straight ahead. You can also adjust the neck strap. If it's too far down or it's too far close to you, you can change that as well. So it's going to always go off to your right side. Now I'm going to show you how to make a sound. So I always tell my students, make your lips like a chipmunk, like this. And you're going to put your top teeth on top of the mouthpiece and your bottom lip against that reed, like this. And then you're going to close your lips around it and blow. Now make sure you don't have too much mouthpiece in, or it won't work. If you don't have enough mouthpiece in, it'll be really hard to work. So you want your teeth about halfway down the mouthpiece. Also make sure you don't put too much pressure on that reed, or you'll close off the sound and the reed can't vibrate. So just a little bit of pressure. Now the note I just played, that was called a B, because I had the first finger pressed down. Now let's show you A. So you're going to put down your next finger. And the last note, this is called a G. Put down the third finger. So those are your first 3 notes. Now you can play hot cross buns, which is number 16 in your book. So you can look that up if you want to get ahead of the game before your first lesson. Now that we've showed you how to put it together and shown you the notes and how to make a sound, I'm going to show you how to take it apart, which basically should go in reverse order of when you put it together. So we're going to start by taking the reed off first. You want to get that reed safely back in its case so it doesn't get chipped or broken. So be careful not to bump the tip of the reed on anything, or you could chip it off and then it won't work anymore. So this is a pretty fancy case. You're going to put the tip in first, and then that brand name goes against the bottom. Let's put that back in here. Next thing we're going to do is take off the mouthpiece and the ligature. And then we have that cap to protect it. So we're going to put that over it. Then we're going to undo this screw right here, because remember that's how we put the neck on. And then you're going to unhook the neck strap from the body. And it just sets in the case like a puzzle. So if it doesn't fit one way, go ahead and try it the other way. You also want to put that cap back in the body. And then the next strap is the last thing that comes off. Don't forget to take it off, because I've seen a lot of students go back to class still wearing their neck strap. You put that back, and either zip or latch, depending on what kind of case you have. And we close and Velcro, and you're all set. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned a lot, and I will see you very soon.